Hello, welcome to Tamil Mom by Bhanu. I'm Bhanu. I'm shooting this vlog right from morning. In my last vlog, I'd shown you that after preparing kanji, I had soaked dry fruits in orange juice to prepare plum cake. I'm going to share the detailed recipe of my plum cake today. It's healthy, diabetic friendly, and very simple to make. So I've taken one whole orange and I've squeezed it along with the pulp, and I have soaked all the dry fruits. I just cut one whole orange into two pieces and squeezed it with my hand itself, taking out the seeds. So I have soaked the dry fruits, which are almonds, cashews, pista, and dry grapes. And I've kept it to soak for 6 hours. So in the meantime, after breakfast, I'm preparing my lunch. So I've kept dal over here for sambar. Actually, in a recent video, I observed that removing the foam from the dal water once it starts boiling reduces flatulence. I have been trying it for 1 week, and acidity, gas, and flatulence levels are quite low if you do this. So I've started doing this every day when I'm preparing any dish using dal. So I take off the foam once it starts boiling. And in my previous vlog, you have seen that I had cut vegetables for sambar in the morning itself. So I've soaked the coriander in water, and I've cut fresh onion, tomato right now. Onions and tomatoes, so we can't preserve it in the fridge, so I make sure I actually cut it immediately. You must be wondering what this water is all about. It's 3/4 cup of jaggery powder along with half a cup of water, and the spices like cinnamon, cloves, and two cardamoms, that's elaichi. This is what we are going to add it for our plum cake. And I've taken 1/4 cup of curd and the mixed nuts. It's nicely soaked since we had soaken it early morning. It's been 6 to 7 hours since it's got soaken. So after lunch, I'm going to start off with my plum cake preparation. Right now, I'll keep it aside. And now, after this water comes to a boil, I'm not going to make it into a syrup or anything. I'll just boil it so that the jaggery powder melts, and I'll keep it aside. In this cup, measuring cup is what I've measured, 3/4 cup of nata sakra and half a cup of water along with basic spices, as I told you. Here my cooker has to cool down for the sambar. So here I wanted to drink my green tea, but that also is hot enough. So I started off with sambar preparations by adding all the vegetables, and the cooker cooled down, and my dal also is mashed over here. And here the jaggery water is yet to cool down. So probably once I finish off the sambar, it'll get cooled down, and we'll start off with our cake preparations. This is hot water. Actually, most of us suggested that using hot water while cooking makes the dish perfect, or it doesn't give any health issues later. So I'm trying to use hot water whenever I'm preparing any dish nowadays. And in this cooker, the sambar came up to 3/4. So I thought of changing it to another cooker, bigger one, but the bigger one is in which I'm going to bake my cake today. So I don't want it to take it out and wash it and again do all those messy things. I'm lazy enough today. So what I'm going to do is I'll keep the stove in minimum low temperature and let the vegetables cook. And I finish my green tea, and I'm starting off with my cake. I've added 1/4 cup of curd along with a teaspoonful of vanilla essence. You can take the lid, and lid measurements also comes to 1 spoon. Mix it up nicely, and to this we will be adding the jaggery water, which is cooled down now. I will be straining it so that all the spices remains in the strainer itself. If you want the spice taste, you can make it into a powder and add it, but we like it mild, in a mild way, so I've just added to the water just for the hint of taste. And to this I'm adding half a cup of refined oil. You should use any flavorless oil whenever you're baking cakes, otherwise the strong smell of the oil tends to dominate the cake. So I'm adding half a cup of it, that's refined oil, to this mixture. And the refined oil is what I usually label and keep, because I have steel boxes for all the things, and mix it up nicely so that all the items which we have added mixed up nicely like this. And finally, we are going to add the soaked dry fruits along with the orange juice and mix it up. And in this cup, I have measured 1.5 cups of wheat flour, and this is baking powder and baking soda. half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder we are going to add, along with 1.5 cups of wheat flour. I'm going to sieve it in this bowl itself. If you want, you can sieve it in another bowl or a plate and take it, but my bowl is wide enough, so I'm sieving it straight away. Usually while baking cakes, I don't use any fancy items. Whatever I have at home, I make sure it is handy. I make sure it's functional enough. So straight away I've sieved the dry mixture, and I'm going to take a spatula and mix it using a cut and fold method. After adding any dry ingredient to your wet ingredients while baking cake, it's better to use the cut and fold method, where you will just roll it like this and cut it. That way your cake doesn't become dense. That's what I've learned so far. So I'm not very good at baking, but from whatever I've learned here and there or from my mom, this is the basic thing. And after the mixture is fully mixed thoroughly, I'm going to take a non-stick baking tray, and I've greased it with a little ghee, and I've dusted it using a little bit of wheat flour. And after this, we will be adding the mixture. This is how it should be, this texture. After adding and scraping off all the cake mixture, I'm going to tap the bowl. Usually we need to tap the cake bowl on the countertop for 3 to 4 times to release all the air bubbles. So that's what I'm doing here. Over the stove under sim, I've kept a cooker to get heated for 5 minutes. Today I'm going to bake this cake in the cooker. Usually I bake it in the oven. Today I want to see how it comes out in the stove using a cooker. So when the cooker is hot enough for 5 minutes, I'll open it and place the a bowl in which we have put the cake mixture, and close the lid along with the gasket and without a weight, and we will wait for 45 to 50 minutes. Here the sambar is ready. It's cooked, I guess. The vegetables are cooked enough under sim. I'm going to switch it off, and dal water is ready for rasam. It's 11:15 now. We'll start. We kept the cake for baking at 11:05, I guess. I had kept it on the other burner so that it's in sim. And check out our cake, which is nicely fluffed up. I'm going to take it out and see whether this is cooked properly inside. So I will be taking it out, and my son comes here with a vadakambi. I don't know what you call this. You need to insert a stick kind of thing, or a knife or a fork in between the cake to see whether it's cooked or no. So once we insert it and no dough or the particles of the cake sticks to the stick which you use, the cake is ready. So nothing has stuck. I've taken it out to make it cool, or let it cool for some time. So it will take some time to cool. So in the meantime, I thought I'll finish off with my ginger tea. As usual, after lunch or after all my work, I settle down with a cup of tea. So that's what I'm doing here. Then came back, and I'm going to scrape out the edges of the cake so that the cake comes out easily. I'll be overturning it or turning it upside down on this plate so that it's easy for us to cut. And now the cake is ready to be cut, and immediately after I cut, all the pieces got over with only 2 or 3 left. And my son, after eating his lunch, he wanted immediately one piece, so I've kept it inside the cake bowl itself. And these pieces I'm going to have for my evening tea. Usually immediately after baking anything, I don't have it. I have it a later part of the day, the later part of the day. So that's why I've kept one piece just for my son, and have stored it or saved it for myself. And after this, we are vacating our car garage, or what do you say, for our packing for the next 20 days again. We have started full-time packing now. All the items have come and got ready. Here I'm writing the bills for the packets. My mother-in-law is weighing all the items, and these 2 sisters, who are of huge help, who come to work for us throughout the year, are working overtime actually. The work takes almost till evening. Sometimes it's up to 7, 8. It depends on how fast the load comes and how fast we finish doing. So immediately after that, I get on to my sealing work, packing the packets, and my daughter over here is taken over of weighing. This year she's fully involved, full-time involved in packing, and it's a big help, a big helping hand for us, an extra hand I should say. And work is going on. We have a lot of fun chatting among ourselves, or joking over or pulling each other's leg. My son is here and there pulling pranks, and sometimes making it hard for us to concentrate on our work. And this finally is our Ellu Bella mixture, in which we have added the roasted till, jaggery, dried jaggery, cut copra, that's a dry coconut, gram dal, Bengal gram, and groundnuts, roasted groundnuts. These are the items basically which everybody or most of the Kannadigas use as a treat or as a tambula to give everyone for this festival, that's Shankranti. So we are mixing it up thoroughly, and we don't compromise on our quality or taste at all. The more you mix, the more the sesame seeds settle at the bottom. We should make sure that all the items are equally packed and all the items are equally there in each packet. So we may make sure that everything is proper by mixing it with our own hands. This is the only way we can get to make it a proper packet with all the items. So once this is done, we'll again segregate it into packets and load it up. After sealing, we put it in a big sack, all the packets in a big sack, and then we take it to a shop. So the final process of packing, weighing, and sealing is going on. Usually, we have a customer base who actually take these items out of India to their children or family or relatives. So that's the reason we have great demand, and we start it a month before the festival. So that's what is happening over here. The packets are being put inside a sack, tied up, and will be transported to our shop from where our customers will bite. And for us, we have customers through generations, and they are very particular about certain things, and we make sure it is delivered to them at the right time in the right way. And after this, I'm taking my day's break. My me time involves going to my library and selecting my books and coming home and taking time to read that. I have a blog in English on my library where I take books. So what is this library? Where is it located? It's a real me time, and I really have a very peaceful time going to the library and coming back. So that's what I'm doing. So after this, after selecting my books, taking the books from the library, I'm heading home, and at home I'm reading a story to my son. He loves, both my kids love hearing stories, and after that they are doing their work of reading and writing. I make sure every day in the evening for half an hour at least they read something, either write or read something on their own. So I'm folding clothes over here, the mats and carpets, and making sure that they are reading and writing something. This way they tend to keep the routine up, though there are no schools nowadays, it's vacation time. So with this, I come to the end of this vlog. And also, if you have liked this vlog, please do like, share, and post your valuable comments in the comment box below. More and more vlogs and videos coming up in English and Tamil, so do stay tuned. And also do not forget to subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon next to it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now.